Hello, I'm here with Robert MacLeod, the new Chief Executive at Johnson Matthey, who's going to talk to us today about the company's financial results for 2013-14. Welcome, Robert. Robert, can you give us a snapshot of the results announced today?
I'm pleased to say that JM performed well in 2013-14, with good growth in sales, profit and the dividend. This was driven by growth across all of our main divisions. Emission Control Technologies, our biggest business, had a particularly strong year.
So can you tell us a little bit more about each of the 5 divisions, starting with Emission Control Technologies?
As I said, Emission Control Technologies, they produce catalysts for cars and trucks. They had a very strong year. Sales of catalysts for cars outperformed the market in Europe, helped by an improved product mix, and we saw continued good growth of demand in Asia. Our truck catalyst business also did well, thanks to the introduction of new emissions legislation in Europe and in Asia.
And how did Process Technologies do?
They also had a good year. In our chemicals business, a slower year for technology licensing, particularly in China, was more than offset by good catalyst sales and from the contribution of Formox, which we acquired last year. The oil and gas businesses also performed well.
And how was performance in Precious Metal Products division this year?
Well, they performed steadily. It was impacted by a change in our contracts with Anglo Platinum, which expired at the end of December, and by lower average metal prices. Our refining business was also steady, but our manufacturing business unfortunately saw continued weakness in some of its markets.
And moving on, how about Fine Chemicals division?
Well, Fine Chemicals, they did quite well. Its API manufacturing business benefited from good demand in the US for products used in ADHD treatments.
And finally, how did new businesses do?
This is the division where we're developing new opportunities for the future. This year we made some progress with sales boosted by a first full year's contribution from our battery systems business.
And looking ahead, what's the outlook for this year?
Well, while we expect continued growth across the group, this year we'll face some headwinds. The change to our contracts with Anglo Platinum that I've already mentioned, and the effect of foreign currency translation, together could adversely impact us by about £50 million. So overall, we therefore expect this year's group's performance to be broadly in line with 2013-14.
And finally, what about the longer term?
Well, the underlying drivers for Johnson Matthey's future growth remain firmly in place. With strong positions in growing markets, our commitment to R&D and our excellent people, I'm really confident that Johnson Matthey is well positioned to deliver long-term growth through the creation of value-adding, sustainable technologies.
Thank you very much.